Good afternoon, Moore County. This is David Warnoff, publisher of the Pilot newspaper, broadcasting live from downtown Southern Pines in the Pilot's newsroom. John Nagy is still away on attending some personal business, and I am, despite my best efforts to upgrade the talent on this broadcast, I have once again failed you, and you are still stuck with the B team. Now, John was trying to make me feel better, and he sent me a text last night and said, he's going to improve my grade. He says I'm really the A- team. I've come to embrace the B team, so I think it rolls off the tongue a little better. So we're going to stick with that. Good news: the stock market jumped 400 points today, and I believe that was on investor sentiment soared on news that John Nagy was coming back to work on Monday and would start taking control of these broadcasts again. Wrestled them from my hands. So come Monday, Moore County, you will be in the capable hands of our editor, John Nagy. Let's see. We have no new cases to report today of coronavirus or COVID positive. We are still at 151 cases here in Moore County, and we have no new deaths to report today, still holding steady at 9. However, we do have a little bit of detail on the breakdown of those cases. As you may recall, the Pilot joined a media coalition that cajoled and threatened the State Department of Health and Human Services into releasing more information about nursing homes and the makeup of the cases in those nursing homes. Of course, the health department should have been giving this all along, but why on earth they didn't do that is beyond me. But at least the State Department of Health and Human Services has maintained they were good to their word, and every Tuesday and Friday they release new information. And sure enough, this afternoon they told us some interesting details. So 53% of the cases in Moore County can be attributed to one nursing home, the Pinehurst Healthcare and Rehab Center, right there on Blake Boulevard near the post office in Southern Pines. And 2/3 of the deaths, 6 of the 9 deaths, can be attributed to that same outbreak. Of course, I feel the need to remind y'all, the health department thought it was a good idea to keep that secret from you. And many of the families of the residents there and many of the employees didn't know. But for the dogged reporting by Jamie Baxley on our staff and the thundering editorials on our editorial page, we were able to pry some of this information loose and let people know what's going on. Again, still dumbfounded why the health department didn't think that was of note. But here's the stats from the State Department of Health and Human Services. 23 staff members at Pinehurst Healthcare and Rehab tested positive for COVID. 1 of the staff members died. 57 residents tested positive for COVID-19, and 5 of the residents died. So 80 cases, 6 deaths, right here from the State Department of Health and Human Services. Let's see, First Health has also updated its dashboard this afternoon. They have completed 3,114 tests, and of those, 305 were positive. So they've been running right around 10%, and they dropped a smidge overnight. So they're just slightly below 10% from yesterday. And they have 152 tests pending. Let's see, we do have a little bit of breaking news for you today. This afternoon, the Moore County Schools announced their details on how they were going to conduct the graduation ceremonies this year. I mean, you really got to feel for the seniors this year. The class of 2020 has really had a tough go of it. I don't know about y'all, but I remember the spring of my senior year very fondly, and hate that those guys missed it. And had to spend it at their homes, staring at their computers. So the school system is trying to make this graduation special, And in fact, so is the pilot. We're going to enhance and upgrade our graduation section and really make it special. Do what we can to make it special for them. Obviously, we can't fix the Miss Senior Prom and the Miss Spring events. But here is what the school system is planning for these kids for graduation. They're calling it a 4-pronged approach. So Friday night, they'll have the full graduation ceremony tape recorded and released on YouTube at 7 o'clock. So that'll be the school board chairwoman, Libby Carter, will have her remarks. School superintendent Bob Grimacy will have his remarks. The valedictorian, salutatorian of each graduating class will have their remarks. And I think the teacher of the year will also be on there. And they will release all of that Friday night, so you can sit at home and watch it. Then that's June the 5th, that Friday night. On June the 6th, they are going to have what they are calling their Drive Up, Walk the Stage diploma ceremony. That's prong 2. Each student will be allowed 1 vehicle, and I don't know where they're going to do this, and they don't know that either yet. They haven't released that information, but they're going to drive up, and 10 at a time, students will get out of their vehicles, go to the stage, get their picture taken, get there to have their name called, get their diploma, walk off the stage, get back to their car. 10 new students will get out of the car, and so on. Let's see, excuse me for just a second here. Let's say at North Moore, that will happen Saturday at June 6th at 8 a.m. At Pinecrest, the walk the stage ceremony will be Saturday morning at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 2 p.m. So I guess they'll have to, with so many students at Pinecrest, they're going to have to break. They probably had a problem getting all those cars in there. And then at Union Pines, the walk the stage ceremony will take place at 8 a.m. After the walk the stage, there will be 3 different parades. I assume that'll be in Robbins, Carthage, and Southern Pines for Northmore, Union Pines, and Pinecrest. But the place of the parade has not been announced yet, so bear with me on that. But there will be a parade. Students will decorate their cars, drive through the city, and everybody will cheer them on and wish them good luck. And then the 4th prong of the graduation ceremony is going to be what they're calling an early reunion. So as soon as social distancing requirements are loosened to the point where they can all get together, there will be a reunion ceremony for each class where they can celebrate their senior year and each other and get a appropriate send-off for each class, or each school, I should say. So breaking news there. It sounds like the schools really did their best to make it special for the kids. And so hat tip to the school system and parents for making all this happen. Let's see. The next story is National Nurses Week. And boy, talk about a time to celebrate these frontline workers. These nurses are walking in, every day. They're going in and showing up to take care of you during this pandemic, and that's something that should be celebrated. Laura Douglas has a really nice story on the front page of Sunday's paper, which features three local nurses: Sharon Davis, Maura Thomas, and Linda Cameron. So it's online now. You should be able to go read it on our website, or go buy a copy of Sunday's paper and read all about it then. Let's see. As of 5 o'clock, so right now, just passed, Governor Roy Cooper's phase 1 of the reopening plan has taken effect. So what does that mean for you? Well, not a whole lot, but what you will notice is there will be several retailers who have been closed that will now be able to open their doors. Now there are some restrictions that come with that. They will be limited to 50% of their fire rating. What do you call that? Fire rating, their fire code. Whatever the number of people the fire code allows them to have in their store, they can have half of that. That still seems like a lot in some of these small boutiques, but I'm sure, at least when I went into Swank, which is one of the stores which is opened, they had it roped off pretty well to protect the cashiers from exposure, and then having X's on the floor to stand at appropriate distance for the customers to be protected. So at least the places I've been, I think that'll work out well. It'll be, of course, on you, Moore County residents, to be careful and respect the boundaries of these frontline workers, because they have no choice. They're working. They have to deal with you. You have a choice. So hopefully you will respect their boundaries and thank them for coming to work to serve you. Let's see. I have a few stores that I can announce that will be open. In downtown Southern Pines, Marie and Marcel will be open. In downtown Greensboro, downtown Aberdeen, 111 or ETC will be open. In Southern Pines, 111 Main will be open. Mockingbird on Broad, Catafora over by Lowe's grocery store, Lavender Restyle Market, Swank Coffee Shop, and Against the Grain, Pink in the Pines, and Courtney's Shoes over by the Fresh Market will all be open tomorrow. So if you're been cooped up for these last 8 weeks and you want to get out, those places are there to serve you, and make sure you thank them for opening up for you. Let's see. Dick's Sporting Goods in Aberdeen will also be open tomorrow, and Belk's in Southern Pines will open on Monday, and Best Buy will open on Monday, but will only be serving people by appointment. The Country Bookshop in downtown Southern Pines, also, which has been open all along, will be open with curbside service as well as free home delivery. Let's see. I think I got all that. All right, and here's what we have in store for you on Sunday's front page. We got what we call a PGP. It's a pretty good pilot. And it's chock full of news. Some of it was just covered. The lead story on Sunday's paper will be David Sinclair's story from the Moore County Commissioners, and the headline there is no property taxes, no property tax increase this year. And David Sinclair's got all the details, so make sure you take a look at that story. Laura Douglas has a great feature on the local real estate market. The headline there is, "It is a seller's market." There's a lot more buyers than there are inventory. So there is inventory. Sorry. So if you're selling a house that's valued at $300,000 or less, boy, you put it on. The realtors would love for you to put it on the market because they can sell it. And you can read all about that in Sunday's paper. Jamie Baxley also has a story we just talked about retailers. And Laura Douglas has a nice, solid story on the return of elective surgery at the First Health and the Ambulatory Surgery Center right across from Pinehurst Surgical Clinic. So you can read all about that. I was over at Pinehurst Surgical Clinic yesterday, and one of the surgeons there told me, as they were calling around to get folks to come in for renew their surgeries, 70% of the people said yes. So that bodes well that hopefully maybe next week it'll be 80%, and then they'll get back to regular capacity fairly quickly. Let's see. Winding up, fellas, don't forget, Mother's Day is this Sunday. If you're like me, well, actually, you're not like me. I was ahead of the game. I have a lot of mothers in my life, and well, not a lot. I have two. And I got all of that stuff done earlier in the week, so I'm all set. But if you hadn't, there's still time. You got some of these retailers who are open. You can go see them, and I'm sure they'll take good care of you. But make sure you do something nice for the mom in your life. They've earned it. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's going to be sunny with a high of 69. A little chilly in the evening. Low of 37. Typical Sand Hills spring. So until then, thank you for letting me bring you the news these last 3 nights. John Nagy will be back. But until then, stay safe, be kind, and keep your distance. Thanks again. Have a great weekend.